for other parts of the world. And we're not taking in Syrians that we have no idea who they are, where they come from. And we've already taken in thousands, and we don't even know where they are. But you have no idea. I spoke to the top law enforcement people, and they said, Mr. Trump, they don't have papers. They have absolutely no identification. And do you ever notice the migration? And I want to help people. And I say you build a safe zone, and I'll get other people to pay for it because I don't want to pay for it. We owe $19 trillion. We're not paying for it. But we'll get the Gulf states to pay. They have more money than anybody, and they're not spending their money. We've got to loosen up their wallets, folks, and I'm very good at getting people to do that, believe me. Because I like the idea of a safe zone. But did you ever notice the migration comes across, and you look, and there's so many young men, right? I say, where are the women? Where are the children? Now, they're there, but not like they should be. So law enforcement is telling me, is that a protester? Oh, good. Turn the cameras. Turn the cameras. Good. I love protesters. Look at this. Look at this. We have 10,000 people here today. Look at this. Is that a protester? Please be a protester. The only way we can get the cameras turned, the only reason they turn the cameras is if there's a protester, because that's a bad thing, right? I'm going to develop my own protesters. But look, it can't be a protester because those cameras won't turn. They won't turn. I'll tell you what, I think the media is among the most dishonest groups of people I've ever met. They're terrible. The New York Times, which is losing a fortune, which is a failing newspaper, which probably won't be around that much longer, but probably somebody will buy it as a trophy, keep it going for a little longer. But I think the New York Times is one of the most dishonest media outlets I've ever seen in my life. The worst. The worst. The absolute worst. They have an agenda that you wouldn't believe. And they're run by incompetent people. They are totally incompetently run. Washington Post, I have to tell you, I have respect for Jeff Bezos, but he bought the Washington Post to have political influence. And I got to tell you, we have a different country than we used to have. We have a different, he owns Amazon. He wants political influence so that Amazon will benefit from it. That's not right. And believe me, if I become president, oh, do they have problems. They're going to have such problems. And one of the things I'm going to do, and this is only going to make it tougher for me, and I've never said this before, but one of the things I'm going to do if I win, and I hope I do, and we're certainly leading, is I'm going to open up our libel laws so when they write purposely negative and horrible and false articles, we can sue them and win lots of money. We're going to open up those libel laws so that when the New York Times writes a hit piece, which is a total disgrace, or when the Washington Post, which is there for other reasons, writes a hit piece, we can sue them and win money instead of having no chance of winning because they're totally protected. You see, with me, they're not protected because I'm not like other people, but I'm not taking money. I'm not taking their money. So we're going to open up those libel laws, folks, and we're going to have people sue you like you never got sued before. We have many things to do. We have many, many things to do. When I came down on the escalator with my wife, Melania, it was June 16th. And I said, look, let me tell you, it's not easy running for president. You get lowlifes like a guy like Rubio saying horrible things. And who needs it? Really, who needs it? This is is the lowlife. And Cruz lies, but at least it's reasonable lies. This other guy says terrible things. And I will tell you, when you do this, and when I agreed to do it, it takes guts to do it. It takes guts. Especially if you're not a politician. I'm not a politician, thank goodness. I guess now I am, but I'm not, okay? I don't want to be a politician. And when I came down the escalator, there were cameras. Look at all those cameras back there. Look at it, look at it. Hello, folks, how you doing, you son of a guns? But we had cameras like the Academy Awards. It looked like it was the Academy Awards. And I said to my wife, I looked at the Iran deal, which is one of the great insults in the history of deal making. We give them $150 billion. We get absolutely nothing. We get nothing. And then they attack, they take as hostage our 10 sailors. And the only reason we got them back, why did we get them back? Because the money wasn't paid. It went in 2 days later. So the Persians are great negotiators. They gave them back. They would have kept them otherwise. Unless Trump was president, believe me, they wouldn't be keeping them. They wouldn't be keeping them. And if I was president, the hostages would have been released 4 years ago, because I wouldn't have negotiated until they released the hostages. And if they didn't release them, I would have increased the sanctions, and we would have had those hostages within 24 hours years ago. I want to tell you one other thing. Your Second Amendment is under siege. Guns, 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 guns. It's under siege. And every time you have a mentally disturbed person, like you had last night, and like you will have, they immediately look to the guns, like the guns pull the trigger. Well, the guns do not pull the trigger. And we are going to protect your Second Amendment 100%. 100%. If you look at what happened, in California with the 14 people killed by 2 people that were radicalized, she probably radicalized him. How about this country? We can't even get the cell number. We can't open the cell. I like safety. I want security. When it comes to terrorists, we got to knock them out, folks, and we got to knock them out, and knock them out big league. Big, big, big league. But when you look at what happened in California with the 14 people and many people in a hospital that are in very bad shape, and these were people that gave the 2 radicalized, the couple, this couple, so-called couple, I don't even like to call them a couple, you know what I'd like to call them. It gave this couple anniversary parties and baby parties and showers. These were people that knew them and were friends, and they went in and just blew them away. And then you look at Paris, where you have 130 people that were killed, many people in hospitals, gravely injured. These animals just walked in, took their guns, and said, bing, 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 you get over here, bing. If we would have had guns where bullets flowed in the other direction, you wouldn't have had that big problem. It would have been much smaller. So we're going to protect our Second Amendment. And it is so true. Take Paris, take California. If, like you're a tough cookie. This guy right here looks like an ex-vet. If a couple of you right over there with that big, beautiful beard, if these guys, and I have to pick a woman, that's right, you raising your hand. She's going crazy. She wants to carry a gun. But if we had a few people, right? If we had a few people with a gun on their side or a gun around their ankle, so when these animals start shooting, the bullets start going the other way. You know, Paris is probably the toughest place in the world to have a gun, except if you're a bad guy, then there's no problem. You just have a gun. So if we had people, or if we had people in Los Angeles, would have been a whole different story, folks. Would have been a whole different story. So just remember, your Second Amendment with me is protected. Your borders are protected. Common Core. Common Core. Common Core is out. It's out. In the top 30 nations with 30 being by far the worst in the world for education. We're number 30, but we're number 1 in cost per pupil by a factor of like there is no second, okay? We're number 1. So we're number 1 in cost, we're number 30, we're last. You have Norway, Sweden, Denmark, China. You have lots of places. You have some countries you never even heard of are ahead of the USA. Not going to happen anymore, folks. We're going to get up that list. We're going to start climbing up that list. You know, the American dream is dead, but we're going to make it bigger and stronger and better than ever before. Remember that. But it's very hard for a person to live the American dream without good education. So we're going to work very, very hard on that. So Common Core is out. It's dead. Common Core is dead. We're going to bring it locally. And I've seen the local. It's unbelievable. With the parents and the teachers and everybody, there's love in the room. And it's a beautiful thing to watch. It's a beautiful thing to watch. You know, another thing that we have to talk about, I've had tremendous support from the evangelicals and from Christians. I've had tremendous support. And in fact, Pastor Jeffress is here right now. I don't know. Pastor Jeffress, where are you? Oh, come here, come here, come here, come here. I saw him. Get him over here. He has been so supportive. I didn't meet him. I've seen him on television for years. I always liked him a lot. And one day I'm listening to him, and he said, Donald Trump may not be perfect, but he's the best leader. He's the strongest guy. He's going to knock out ISIS. He's going to do great for our economy. He may not be perfect. I didn't like that, but that's okay. But he's going to be our best president. Will you come out? See if you can get him up here. I love this guy. I'm just watching him, and highly, highly respected. And also, Jerry Falwell Jr. was so incredible. And and many others, the Reverend Paula White, so many others. We've had such support. We have unbelievable support from Sarah Palin. She is incredible. She's a great person. Come on up here, Reverend. Pastor Jeffress, and is it true? I didn't know him, and I love him. Say a few words.
Let me just say briefly, I know 3 things about Donald Trump. Number 1, he sincerely loves this country. You know, he has 10 billion reasons he doesn't have to do this, but he does it because he wants to make America great again. The second thing I know about Donald Trump is that he is truly pro-life. I have talked to him in Trump Towers. He believes in protecting the unborn. That is an issue we as Christians care about. And I'll tell you what, some of you who say, well, I don't know if his pro-life conversion was real, let me tell you something. Hillary Clinton doesn't claim any pro-life conversion. If you go for Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders, there is no doubt you're going to have the most pro-abortion president in history. But here's what I finally know about Donald Trump. Donald Trump cares about and loves evangelical Christians. You know, one time when Ronald Reagan was running for president of the United States, the first time he met with a group of evangelical leaders, and he said, although you can't endorse me, I want you to know I endorse you. And I have met with Mr. Trump on several occasions, and I can tell you from personal experience, if Donald Trump is elected president of the United States, we who are evangelical Christians are going to have a true friend in the White House. God bless Donald Trump.
Wow. How about that? How about that? I'm telling you, I saw the pastor on television like a year ago, and he was saying all these good things, and I never met him, but I've been watching him, and he was saying all these incredible things, and I said, we have to meet this man, and like, I just have such great respect for him, and you can see that. Thank you very much. That's really amazing. Really amazing. And I'm going to give the pastor a little bit of a present because what I say, I mean, and I think it's very important for the Christians in the room. Christianity is under siege. Every year, it gets weaker and weaker and weaker. And I had a meeting with various ministers and pastors about 2 months ago, and I'm pretty good at figuring things out. And I sat with them, and some of them said, "We love you. We want to endorse you so badly, but we're afraid we're going to lose, if we do that, our tax-exempt status." And I said, "What's this all about? That takes you, and it makes you less powerful than a man or woman walking up and down the street. You actually have less power. And yet, if you look at it, I was talking to some, we probably have 250 million, maybe even more, in terms of people. So we have more Christians, think of this, than we have men or women in our country. And we don't have a lobby because they're afraid to have a lobby because they don't want to lose their tax status. So I am going to work like hell to get rid of that prohibition. And we're going to have the strongest Christian lobby. And it's going to happen. And it's going to happen. This took place during the presidency of Lyndon Johnson, and it has had a terrible, chilling effect. When I said that there has to be a temporary ban on certain people coming into this country, we have no choice. There's something wrong. There's something really wrong. And when I said Muslim, I was met with furor. If I would have said Christian, people would have said, "Oh, we can't do anything about it." That's going to end, folks. We're going to say Merry Christmas now on Christmas. We're going to start going to department stores and stores, and you're going to see big, beautiful signs that's going to say, "Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday." And we're going to have a big, big, big lot of fun. And we're going to get rid of that. We're going to work very hard. That's one of the first things I want to do. I want to get rid of that. And politically, if we use that power, we're going to start going up, 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 because we are being decimated. So just remember that. Just remember I said it. Pastor, it starts here. Do you like that, what I just said? He's happy. That's the biggest smile I've ever seen on his face. I'll do it. You can hold me to it, Pastor. All right? You're responsible. So, again, we're going to have a great country again. We're going to have a smart country again. We're going to have tremendous borders and tremendous strength, and people are coming in, but we're going to have real borders. We're going to have unbelievable trade deals. I have Carl Icahn, some of the best business people in the world. We have right now political hacks negotiating these massive, massive trade deals. The biggest deals in the world. We have people that don't have the slightest clue. We're going to get rid of Obamacare. We're going to make something great. We're going to get rid of Common Core. We're going to have local education. We're going to protect our Second Amendment. We're going to protect Christianity. We're going to be back. And folks, I'll tell you, and it's very simple. My whole theme and your whole theme, because we're all together, I'm just a messenger. Our whole theme is Make America Great Again. That's what's going to happen. We're going to win a lot, folks. We're going to win all the time. Thank you very much. I love Texas. I love Texas. Get out there and vote.